you were to just stumble upon Barcelona, you wouldn't know it's owned by this gigantic corporation.
Yeah, there's like 50 of those fuckers around nationwide, and they all have shitty service, for the record. I don't care. I can say whatever I want. It's my podcast. It's literally the worst service, not only in the neighborhood, but in, let's say, the upper echelon of tiered foods. Like, it's in the nicer region where it's $20 a plate. Worst butt fucking service in this goddamn city.
Oh, I disagree.
It drives me so mad.
I think we've had different experiences there, yeah.
I think that
paella
restaurant should be in Cherry Creek, personally.
Like a Maggioni's and fucking
like
the rest
North and all that shit that's like
quality Italian.
Yeah, and that Foods, whatever that one was called. But like, so I guess like understand Shake Shack being a little bit of an outsider, but at the same time, I think Shake Shack is a different thing because of Danny Meyer.
Totally.
So I think like you got to accept one of those.
Yeah, and I'm not here to bash chain restaurants.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm doing.
I'm here. That's what I
we
do.
can do that.
I'm allowed to do that.
That's not what I'm doing, but that is part of the story of Eat Denver and is why things like the dining deck exist and things like the Big Eat, our big food festival in the summertime, were to really promote independent restaurants and kind of going back to that same concept of collectively we are so powerful,
right? And
we, as an industry, have so much quality, so much passion. Denver is a really impressive collective of independent restaurants, and when they band together, it's a lot easier resource-wise and a lot more powerful. So anyway, things like the dining deck that are really like, here, take a tour of Denver's dining scene here in one deck of cards, and those 52 restaurants got together and decided that they wanted to offer discounts together. So this was kind of like the first bundle, like the first of its kind in Denver, but we did borrow the concept from Cleveland. O-H.
I'll give you the IO.
No one on the other side of that.
We're not Ohioans.
Wow.
Ohioans, but I'll give you the IO.
Thank you.
So this idea was poached from Cleveland?
Yep.
Did y'all ever think... Go ahead.
So that had to be under your leadership, obviously.
No.
You didn't come up with that idea?
This is our 7th year doing this.
Huh?
This is our 7th edition of the dining deck.
Oh, so you haven't really done much at all. Anyways, so... Okay.
Sorry, what was that? Was that a dig that I couldn't hear?
Yeah, he was trying to give you credit. I'm just going
to go eat tacos at the other table.
Go for it, Ohioan.
I'm pretty sure no one's going to listen to the podcast over there.
Okay, and then the Big Eat came around, and the Big Eat came first. So this coming year, 2020, is going to be our 10th year doing the Big Eat. So it's one of the longest running food festivals in Denver. 65 different restaurants serve some pretty badass food.
We were there this past year.
Okay, good.
I was the guy that fell down the stairs because he overconsumed.
Oh my gosh! Thank God we had insurance.
They overserved ourselves, or we overserved ourselves.
That was the perfect
tomato potato.
Yeah.
It doesn't
they
matter.
They overserved.
Fuego margaritas, everybody, on a Tuesday. Okay, so the 52 card deck.
Yep.
That's
what
actually
all can we do with
58
it?
cards, isn't it?
It's 58 cards, just a technicality. But what was your question?
So what all can people, like, is it just certain time discounts, or is it like you can use it whenever?
For the most part, whenever. So the whole concept of the deck, we changed things around from last year to this year. We wanted it to be like, so Amanda is my coworker, Amanda Faison. She was at 5280 as their food editor for like, she says a million years. Don't even know. Maybe
it's because time stands still when you're in print media.
And so she and I like got together and talked about like how can we put like our kind of expertise, like, you know how like your friends probably do this too, like they'll be like, hey,
meth.
You made a huge assumption that I have friends, first of all.
Okay, yes, I did take a couple leaps there, but like a friend today was like, okay, I have 6 coworkers, we're looking for somewhere on Tennyson to have dinner, like give me a couple ideas. I did throw that out there.
Post Oak is pretty strong.
I said the Wayback, Hops and Pie, and American Elm.
I haven't been to American Elm yet. Is it strong?
Me either. I heard great things, though.
So you refer restaurants that you even haven't been to?
Well, I told her. I always have a disclaimer.
Okay.
Hey, I've heard great things.
But I haven't been yet.
But I haven't been. It might be a good spot for your situation.
Okay.
That's cool to have friends, though.
Because of this podcast, Chris has been ostracized by not only his friends, but also his family. But it's also because, you see, he throws folks under the bus like he did you very early on.
I found out really early.
I do apologize about that.
So, yeah, become like somewhat of a dining concierge to my friends. And
we know that feeling too well, sister.
Yeah. It's fun, though. It's like I'm like such a tour guide.
So you throw out a shitty wreck and then they come back at you, or they talk behind your back.
Never happened. People are always coming back.
God, they're always
liars.
Like, she knocked that one out of the park. Yeah. She never screws up. We got to go back to her for lunch today.
Yeah. Oh, that food sucked.
Well, we are going to ask you. We're going to put you in some hypothetical situations later on in this episode. It's called the Denver hot seat. We just made that up right then and there.
Ooh, it comes the Feugo seat.
It's the Feugo tequila that gets everyone's jollies going. So we'll ask you that. But yeah, that's not bad.
So why don't you, like, for instance, pull out a card, any card. All right, yeah.
Let our listeners
we're not doing a magic trick.
I'm going to have Kit pick up a card.
Guys, you can do so many different games with these cards.
You really missed your chance
if you have
to do
friends,
ASMR by flipping it upside down.
If you have friends or a significant other, you could pick a card, and that's where you head.
All right, so this one's called a wild card.
Oh. Wait, let's pick another one. That's a weird one to start with.
Okay, sorry.
We'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it.
Is that like a Joker? You want to get that out of the fucking deck?
All right, so this one's from actually one of our favorite restaurants in town. It's Luca, Frank Bonanno's Italiano restaurant off of 8th and it's right behind the Trader Joe's at Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one says, enjoy 2 glasses of house wine with the purchase of a salumi and cheese plate. So if you're a fan of charcuterie and fromage, you get 2 glasses of wine. So it's a great complimentary. It's like a date night. And let's pretend this is totally stereotypical. We do not believe in this. But let's say you were to ask our imaginary girlfriends what they wanted to eat. And the girls are always, as you know, oh, I don't know, you pick. This is a great way to do it because not only, and I'm going to sell this for you because y'all two fucking idiots. What this is great for is it not only gives you the idea of, it thinks outside the box. It gives you restaurants that you maybe otherwise wouldn't have thought of, but it also, if you are an active couple or an active group of friends that likes to go out and eat, it gives you the option to save a couple bucks as well. So in this instance, I mean, you can get 2 glasses of an $18 glass of wine, and you're literally only spending the $20 for the charcuterie and fromage board, and you're actually getting out of there with what would otherwise be considered a free appetizer. So it kind of cuts not only the bottom line off, but there's also, like we were talking about with the wild card, there's sometimes you don't even have to spend $1 to get something for free. Like, I believe Jack's has a free set of oysters in there.
Yes.
Just for showing in the door.
That's where the wild cards come in.
Yeah. So, like,
the free stuff.
For those that work downtown, or for maybe those that frequent the Lodo area, like Chris is a big fan of the ballpark neighborhood. Like, if you're if you're in that area, there is a deck of cards, or there's a card in the deck for you, and it's not specific just to downtown because of the restaurants we just named. We did just say something about Cap Hill, but like, do a little ASMR, do the fake shuffle, like this noise. Bless her heart. I'm going to show her how to do it.
Man.
You must not listen to a lot of people talk like that.
Katie laughed a little bit when you said, I love the ballpark area, but I've seen you around there, so.
At 1UP, probably.
Oh, so is that your bar of choice?
No, I just really, really love a good skee ball or Tetris round.
Do you have a console at home? Like a game console?
No, but I have an iPhone.
Wait, what game do you play on your iPhone that we don't play?
Candy
Tetris.
Crush?
You just play like the old Tetris?
Yes.
What about Alleyway? Do you ever remember Alleyway, that game?
No.
It's like where you were in like a spaceship, or maybe it's called Brick, where you bounce the...
Yeah, that's called Brick.
Yeah, Brick.
Yeah.
Alleyway? Where the fuck are
Alleyway
you from?
sounds pretty creepy.
Yeah. Is that like where you meet the women of the night?
Whatever.
Yeah,
so
that's a good
anyways,
one too.
Okay.
All right, so
Tetris
we've really
is
gotten
annoying.
off.
But fun facts before we go back. 2 weeks ago,
We're not going back. We're just going forward.
I finally cashed in on my hundreds of hours of Tetris and bet my friend in an Uber that I would win a Tetris round for $100.
Wait, how do you win a round of Tetris?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's been years.
So
I
hold on,
understand
do
the
you play-
concept is to get rid of the lines.
So
How
at
do you
1UP,
win?
at actual arcades, there are 2 consoles like attached, and so you can actually play against someone in Tetris.
Fun fact.
Anyway, I won $100.
Okay, nice.
Pretty exciting.
Did this
highlight of your
his
month?
friend not know what they were getting into?
He
or
had
are y'all Tetris
no
buds?
idea. No, and I totally downplayed it, and this is going to be my new
Is this a
side
hinge
hustle.
date?
No,
Okay.
it's a good friend.
Is this a hinge date?
Great question, but no.
What's your
Okay.
dating app of choice? Yeah, that's later. Don't worry.
But back to the dining deck. I want to really give it some of my attention.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job very poorly.
That's not true at
So
all. You've
what I
made
would-
our job very easy.
Okay, good. So back to like being the dining concierge for your group of friends. We were trying to translate that into this deck of cards of like, how can you really give someone a tour, somewhat of an insider's tour to the Denver dining scene through the deck of cards instead of just a coupon book. So Lola, if you hand me Lola's card, so say you pick a random card, you've never been to Lola, the idea is that one, the deal that they give you represents their concept and their food, versus just a flat coupon for $10 off or something, like the deck has been. So it's buy a taco, one of their seafood tacos, get any Lola cocktail for free, and then it says, "Psst, our favorite is the classic Lola coin margarita, but mine is really the Fuego." But, you know,
Not
we all
everyone
have
has
our
the spice.
own.
Yeah, not everyone's
Yeah.
sharp and spicy like yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
No. Thank you.
Somewhat.
And then it gives you a fun fact. So this one is particularly creepy. The body of Buffalo Bill Cody was held for 3 months in the basement of the Ollinger mortuary, the property that we are now in, that shares with Linger now. So Buffalo Bill was in Balola, their event space downstairs, for a few months.
We're going to need to fact check that, but I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, so we're not big readers, so we're just going to take her word for it.
Yeah. That's what I meant by
so buy a
fact check.
taco, get a cocktail.
Hey, look at that. So for those
Don't read
that-
the fine print.
For those that are listening to this, but they also saw the picture on the internet or on our Instagram, you saw the spread of the 6 tacos, and it makes, if you do the math, we got 6 cocktails out of it. So we're not paying for our drinks here tonight. We're just paying for our tacos. Why? Because we have 6 decks of these things.
Sure.
Okay, all right. So we've talked.
If you're
about-
hungry, eat, Kate.
Yeah, eat as much as y'all want. I don't give a shit. What's it called? I can have this. I can talk for an hour. It's not a big deal.
But I'm sorry I interrupted
Yeah,
you.
no worries. I
No,
was
we're all
gonna-
having way too much fun talking to eat.
Yeah, that's true.
Which really says something.
Which also means that the food will hold. We've been here for happy hour. They have delicious oysters. They have char grilled, fried, and raw daddies. And as everybody knows, we like it raw. So don't be shy. It's not just tacos. It's not just the enchiladas you saw. They have quite the raw bar. They have quite the spread for their happy hours, not only drinks, but also snacks. And then, of course, the Eat Denver deck has lots of tips for great snacks, but also maybe every time you would think you just go the run-of-the-mill route, you pick up one of these cards that may give you a little zig instead of zagging and try something new in town.
Yeah, just pull a card out of the deck one day. Like if you're, you know,
Don't pull out. We're not a pull out team.
That's
but,
true.
like grab one
But
off
you
the
can-
top.
Yeah.
There we go.
And the best part about the deck is that and like our events like the Big Eat, for example, like there's good food at every level in Denver. Like if you want a hot dog, like go to Biker Jim's and have one of the best hot dogs. If you want a taco, like go to Lola or another restaurant in the deck, have one of the best tacos. But then there's also some high-end restaurants in here, like Urban Farmer, Rioja,
Is it
Altria.
just Denver, or is there other like? Do we have a little mix of like Boulder, Louisville? I almost said Louisville. Louisville, Broomfield, North Glen, even going south.
It looks all
Inglewood?
Denver.
Is it
We
all strictly?
stretch out a little bit to like Comida at Stanley Marketplace and Stanley Beer Hall. So a little bit of A-Town.
We love Ramey over at Comida. They have some
We do.
delicious snacks.
Oh,
over
she's
there. And
fantastic.
She's a
fucking-
badass.
She is badass.
So just a few sprinkled around Denver,
But
but
for the most
nothing
part,
really in Boulder.
the concentrated
Sometimes we have a
metro
few in
area.
Boulder.
But yeah, you cover the whole spectrum because you have like Beatrice and Woodsley.
That's a nice high-end restaurant as
Yeah.
well.
You
And it
got
has that
Gozo
stupid-
on there. I haven't been
Yeah.
to Gozo in a minute, but that place is a great spot.
South Broadway is really turning into one of my favorite neighborhoods to
Fuck
visit.
yeah.
Did you hear Craftsman's opening down there too?
No, but
Yeah.
I did hear they're going to open up a one-up on South Broadway.
See you there. You guys
She's like,
really-
no, that's totally made up because I would know that. I would have been on that months ago.
As a former intern at 5280, I got my thumb on the pulse. All right, so, okay, we're going to come back to the Eat Denver thing because we continue to harp on Denver's best throughout the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But we want our listeners to get to know a little bit more about the Huffer Katie herself. We won't
Mom,
ask-
I swear I've actually never have.
Yeah, and if Mom is listening to this, then she should do what our parents did and turn it off after episode 2. But yeah, so we like to ask our some questions to let our listeners get to know you a little bit better. And I think the first one's going to be probably my best question of the night, which is, what's the spiciest thing you've ever eaten?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's fucking hard hitters. I told you we were like
Oh.
Barbara
Deep.
Walters.